We are using my computer today, so we have to make sure all of my settings are configured for this place. So, happy Tuesday. Thank you for making it. I am so cold I can barely move my hands or myself. I was at the beach on Saturday, and now we are freezing again. This is not what I came here for. But glad you're all here. You braved yourself in the cold to make it for all the updates, so thank you for that. So just a reminder, please silence your phones or anything you have that make noises. That way everybody can hear all of the conversation and the updates. Do we have any resident announcements? Madam President, I will pass it to you then.
That's cold. Good morning. I wish to talk about the suspension of the dress code. I have my notes. You may come to the dining room dressed casually. Be respectful of your fellow residents. Do not dress like a slob. Most residents will continue to dress like they always did. Dress like you're going to a nice restaurant, not McDonald's. We are a premier community. Maintain our standards while being casual. If you're going to one of the special dinners where you pay extra money, like food and wine pairing, gourmet, which you don't pay money for, please dress fancy. Men in jackets, ladies dress very nicely. Thank you.
Short and sweet. Thank you, ma'am. Any other resident announcements or updates? Yes, Ms. Carol.
We are looking for ambassadors, and I told you that a week ago.
Yes.
We're still looking. You need to talk to Carolyn Montgomery or Mary Ellen Bader and fill out an application. You must have been here a year. So if you have any other questions, ask them.
Any other resident announcements? Yes.
This is just quick, but since the Arts and Craft Room is going to be closed next week, be sure to pick up whatever cards you need this week. Thank you.
Good idea. Any other announcements? Okay, we'll go into updates from your leadership team. So just your favorite weekly reminder, please make sure to return those cards. They didn't get a lot of action last week because, well, we didn't have the breezeway. But make sure that we get those returned back to those areas, please. So just another reminder, we did complete that phase 1. We are moved into phase 2. That'll be this week through about the 27th. That is the area of the red, so it is affecting a little bit of the various traffic around the south and the pool, but there is still a thoroughway. So we do have these posted by the elevators in various areas so you can kind of see. And then next week will be our last phase in our phase 3. And then we'll be done. We think it's moving along quite well, and I've had lots of great feedback, so I think it looks beautiful. So super happy about that. And thank you for bearing with us while we make your home gorgeous. So as we mentioned, just that we continue to provide transportation when needed from the north to the south. We just make that request at the front desk. We are asking that residents not walk across the grass. I know I have a couple times, but I'm asking that you don't. They don't want you to get hurt. The pub will not have entry from the north near the shuffleboard during phase 1, and there will be no entry from the fitness center during phase 3. So again, we'll continue having all of that information posted so you're kind of clear on which areas might have a different way to access.
And the beauty shop.
Yes, yes. We are still serving that coffee in Grand Lobby, so we can make sure that we take care of that for you. The pool is going to have access from one main entrance during phase 1 and have entry from the sliding doors during phase 2. So we'll make sure that that signage is a little more clear so we can not have too much confusion about that. And then as Margaret mentioned, the beauty shop is closed the week of the 2nd through the 6th. And they will be notifying you about your appointments. So last call, Betsy is missing about 20 of these. This is the ad valorem tax exemption. So please make sure that you have gotten these back to Betsy. She's missing about 20 more, so she's going through that list. So get those to her as soon as possible if you have not already. Environmental service, so spring cleaning is around the corner. Let us do the hard part. You can call Amy at extension 508 to get a deep clean, dusting, ceiling fans, and all of those extra items today. Marina will actually be training our new housekeeper lights this week. So we have quite a few that were in orientation that we're super excited about, and we'll get training one of our new employees. So not really into spring cleaning, come to think of it, or not into summer, fall, or winter cleaning either. So call Amy, she'll help you out. Hello there. So a little bit from our plant team. They've been very busy with all of our major projects going on, but Chris is still making sure we get your work orders taken care of. We had about 151 completed work orders, about 43 remain open. We did replace the hand wave in the south wing on the back door north, continuing to work on the R-wing elevator upgrade. We did replace 2 new units in resident apartments. We are completing tree trimming throughout the campus. We are completing that sealing and caulking on glass lanais. Completing phase 1 of the breezeway, and we are on phase 2, as you probably noticed. We are continuing to focus on other 2026 CapEx projects. We'll be communicating as we roll those out. And just that weekly reminder that we did move maintain with maintenance to today after Tuesday talk, so we can make sure we are united in our responses and getting back to you on maintenance and project updates. So I know we had this last week, but it's been off to a great start, so super excited, and thank you for your IT tech support interest. It has been well received. March is filling up fast, so please do call IHS at 502 or 503 if you need help from our Gabriel or Mark. So their hours are Tuesday 10 to 2 and Thursday 12 to 4. And Shantae did tell me that it's been quite busy and that we are definitely seeing the need for their services. So super happy that this is working out and glad we can be able to offer this to you. So please don't hesitate to call if you are needing their help. So just a little from Health Center updates. I implemented this year just to make sure that we don't forget our health center that's over there, that you know what's going on. So we are having an increase in flu cases. Of course, we have a lot of discharges home from the hospital, so you'll always see those. But we have had an increase over the last few weeks. Our assisted living is back to about 100% occupied. As we continue our transitions of care planning, there are residents that, of course, move through the continuum to those higher levels of care. So that's something that we manage every day, and we have our weekly collaborative care meeting Tuesdays at 1 to have those discussions. We do have some open interviews for CNAs, that's Certified Nursing Assistants, on the 24th, and that's about 1 to 4:30 in healthcare. So that's actually going to be today from 1 to 4:30 in our healthcare as we continue to recruit for nursing aid positions. We are in the final stages of our CEMP, which is your County Emergency Management Plan, and we will be submitting that to the county by the end of next week. So it's basically our emergency plan that we are required to do for skilled nursing, and we do have to submit that to the state. The Department of Health was in to do a visit to audit the pharmacy. They checked our med rooms, our medication carts, and our narcotic destruction process. No issues were found at the time of their visit. So all of our nurses know that state will walk in and just start digging through your stuff. And there's various entities. There might be a pharmacist, there might be a dietitian, there might be a life safety for plant. And they'll just come in, start looking at your generator logs, start looking at your enteral feedings, start taking a look at medications, and obviously cite to you if there are any issues. So we did not have any issues cited, so happy to report that. So from Kelly, Health and Wellbeing Questionnaire raffle winners were Barbara Masson and Willie Meissner. So thank you for getting those back. Please stop by Carol's office to pick up your prize. If you have not already, please take a few moments to fill out that questionnaire. These were sent via email last week, and hard copies are located on the tables. So we continue to try to get these. We do ask for these. Again, we discussed we can't make you, but it really is helpful for us to provide resources for you. So thank you for those who have gotten those, and we will appreciate getting additional copies from you. So just your weekly reminder, please remember to wear your name badge. We are actually off to a really strong start for 2026 in our first quarter and have quite a few new residents that will be moving in. So just that reminder to wear your name tags. We appreciate that. So as we mentioned, there are an uptick in flu cases, but not so much COVID that I'm aware of at the moment. I will report if there is, and we'll continue to kind of keep awareness on either front. So just a little from activities this week. I feel like that little buddy. So Wednesday the 26th, we have Power Moves for Parkinson's with Barbara at 2 p.m. in the Town Hall. Thursday the 26th, we have our casino trip, 9:30 a.m. departure, north and south bus pickup. Thursday the 26th is our teachers meeting at 2 p.m. in Grand Lobby South. Friday the 27th, Presidential Libraries Talk at 3:30 in Town Hall. Friday the 27th, Louis Bravo is our entertainer at 7 p.m. in Town Hall. And Sunday, March 1st is the Tampa Bay Dance Academy Ballet Trio at 3:30 in the Town Hall. So you got a busy week. It needs to warm up. So just a little from food and beverage. They now have their chef's tables dates out for the 25th, March 11th, and March 25th. You've got pasta night on the 26th, our flanker dinner on the 18th. South birthday party on the 27th, and then Passover on April 7th, and they are continuing to work on some new and exciting things with our food and beverage program, and of course with our new chef. So lots of things we're working on. More to come. So as I mentioned, from sales updates, this upcoming week we have our road show on March 5th at the Fenway Hotel. We are on track to close 8 contracts on a budget of 5 for February. So if you have any friends you want to live here, have them call us. We also have our Signature Club, which is our ongoing wait list. And now is the time. That way they can get on that wait list and have first right of refusal for inventory as it comes available. And do remember, we are given $3,000 for resident referrals. So you can pick your neighbors and your friends. That's right. That's great. So a little from Blue Team, kind of status quo as a lot of the projects, they are slowly wrapping up. Of course, these cold snaps are really delaying things, but we are continuing on the roofing completion with these flat roofs, almost complete. They are continuing on working on the sales center cupola that is being custom made, getting closer to completion of that. The gutters and drain spouts, and then just as the weekly reminder, they will be picking up debris after the project. They will be repairing our paving that was damaged, and they will be repairing our damaged landscaping. So still a lot in progress for all of those projects. They are going to selected units, as we've discussed. They've been doing that for about a month now. They are finishing the P wing and will be moving into the A wing. So Betsy will begin communicating with those residents that they've identified that will need vinyls repaired. So these are just from select units that they were able to assess. So Betsy will be reaching out to you if you are on that list. So again, they're finishing P wing and moving in to the A wing to repair some of those vinyls that were damaged. Excuse me. So as I mentioned, we've had quite a few new hires. So with IHS, we had Keisha and Reginald. From EVS, we have Liz, so she'll be training with Marina. Healthcare, we have Letitia, a new CNA. Food and beverage, we have a new cook, Claudia. We'll have a new server, Jennifer, and Adenise, also a new server. So quite a few new hires in February as we continue to fill our open positions and obtain the new team members. So make sure we welcome them. So this is just a little bit, I know this came up, so Betsy wanted to include this. So prevention starts with awareness. Only you can help prevent fires. Just a reminder, we cannot have those space heaters. They're not allowed in the community, so that is not something that we are openly encouraging or will provide. We will continue to work with preventative maintenance, but make sure we're cleaning those lint filters and those hot stove tops and flameless fires. Electrical, we have some processes in place for move-outs, but avoid overloading your circuits and use of a lot of extension cords. Please help inspect your cords and any issues with appliances. Notate or communicate those to maintenance. Pay attention to tacking cords to walls or running under rugs, and then those airspace overheating from electric in the cabinets. So again, we just want to make sure that we are paying attention to anything that could potentially be a hazard. So you live in a fire-resistant building. We are a concrete block construction. There are fire walls between each apartment. They are 2-hour rated fire doors in the hallways. They are fully sprinklered except for the lanais and the vinyls. There are smoke and heat detectors in each apartment. They are inspected annually and certified. We do have emergency generators, and we do have fire detection system connected to the fire department. I say all of this because what do you do in the event of a fire alarm? Stay in your apartment. What did we do yesterday when the fire alarm went off? We did not stay in our apartments. So Betsy just wanted to make sure we reminded everybody, stay in your apartment until you are told to evacuate, and it will be performed in a safe and orderly manner. So you do not have to run outside. Yesterday we did have the fire alarm go off. All of the debris from the breezeway was swept into or got into an elevator vent, and so we are taking preventative measures to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Essentially, it was a false alarm, but it let us know that we needed to revisit this conversation because lots of residents ran out of their apartment. So for that reason, just keep in mind, in the event of a fire, these are all of the things that your community and that your apartment is built to manage. So please stay inside until further directions. But we did send a one call to let you know it was a false alarm, and we are making sure we take preventative measures so that doesn't happen again. So I do apologize for the inconvenience and the scare. I know that can be very scary and very, very, very loud. So just another reminder what to do if you're cooking and accidentally set off the alarm. You can notify the front desk if it's not an emergency. Keep your apartment door closed. Don't open it to air it down the hallway. And you could open a window. So just wanted to make sure that we visited that topic real quick. So other than that, just a little update from myself. We continue to work on the design for the north and the south dining rooms with Pi Architects and Blue Team. The carpet does take quite some lead time, so it will be a few months before we see installation of that. Elevator in the R wing is in progress, and we are addressing some aspects of the S wing elevator with the company. So we know the Breezeway project is ongoing. We now are on to phase 2. As I mentioned, we apologize for the alarm. It was set off from a vent in the elevator room. So we are taking measures to prevent that in the future. I know you had this on there last week, but our town hall closure will be March 6th through the 9th for generator work. We will not have any power in the town hall for those days, so we will be having the staff move to the training room in the north. So that is just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that Monday while we install that generator conduit. I know I mentioned yesterday, but all of us directors were in a conference from about 9 to 2. So it was a really great training that we had with our LCS regional sales specialist. And so if you were looking for us, that's where we were. But it was great, and we really appreciate getting that education. The pool is back open. That south door will be closed, but there are multiple doors, so we'll make sure that we denote which one's open and which one's closed. We are going to be meeting with Blue Team this week to get additional guidance on timelines and completion expectations. They'll be out here, so I'd like to get a little bit clearer idea of what they are intending for that. And to kick them out sometimes too. So, and then other than that, Ginger's working on this, but obviously when we move into phase 3, we're gonna have this area over here that we're addressing, and we don't want people walking through bushes and grass and hurting themselves. So Ginger is going to be looking at some ways that we can move activities from town hall to a grand lobby during that time. So more information to come on that. We just didn't want to be holding events and activities in here and you walking through grass and bushes. So more to come. Ginger will get that information out. Just wanted you to be aware of that moving piece. So other than that, I do have, I skipped over it, but as I mentioned, we have transitioned from, or we are currently still with Health Peak. But remember, we are the Janus Living REIT, that IPO that we addressed or that we discussed. I will be having an investors visit on March 4th. I don't know much information about that, but there are people that will be coming out to look at our community and see what they think about additional investment and capital. So it's exciting stuff. As I mentioned, we would have a little bit more prioritized attention to us, the senior living portfolio within Health Peak. So this was probably be one of many visits. That's as much as I know for now, that there's a bunch of them coming on the 4th. So I'll communicate as I know more, because that's about as much as I know. So with that, any questions that I can maybe answer for you? Yes.
Just a friendly suggestion, especially for the new people that haven't figured it out yet, but when that fire alarm goes off, the quietest place to go is on your lanai.
That's right.
There you go, go look out the windows.
I do have concerns about our response to the fire alarms. I think there's built up a lot of complacency here. It's my understanding that Betsy was in the north wing and didn't even know that this was going on for a while?
Yeah, but we have an entire protocol that doesn't even include Betsy. Yes, we are aware when it goes off, actually Darwin in maintenance, and the first thing we do is head to the fire panels, which we knew immediately. Darwin was alerted, I was alerted. Betsy was in a training, but Darwin addressed it. We looked at the fire panels and were able to determine. That's what those two are at the front. So there will never be complacency about a fire, I assure you.
I think I'm talking about some of the residents.
Yeah, well, that's why we're revisiting the topic.
Yeah.
Just stay in the apartment.
And I'm wondering if people, when they go through orientation, we've had some new people that didn't seem to know about it. But maybe what we ought to look at doing is go through an initial orientation and then a repeat 3 months later.
You talking about for fire?
Right, what to do during fire.
Sure.
Some of us have little brain lapses, especially when it comes to overload.
Yeah, let me review the orientation because I'm fairly certain we do, but if not, that's great feedback, so thank you, we can add that.
I've noticed lately that the handicap parking is being occupied by cars for more than 4 hours at a time. And many times the same car will stay in that space for days and overnight, which I don't believe those are the rules according to the county.
We will take a look at that, I know that transportation is working through that.
Hello, I'm Dean Tully.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, I don't have my name tag. And of course, I'm gonna ask about atrazine and herbicides. And I brought that topic up, I guess, a couple weeks ago now, and I haven't heard anything back. And I was wondering if this is the right forum for.
So you and I did discuss that, and I did respond to you and told you that that is being reviewed. Now, I'm not gonna stand up here and promise you a non-toxic pesticide that's going to treat weeds. But that is something that we have. I am not an expert in herbicides or horticulture, any of those things. So our landscaper is looking at that. But I am not aware of any non-toxic items that are going to kill weeds, which is necessary for the management of our community. So it's my understanding, as long as you're not directly ingesting it, et cetera, but I'm not an expert. So as we discussed, the expert is looking into some options to get back to you.
Well, you're aware that the atrazine, the compound that's at stake, has been clearly associated with Parkinson's, as surely as smoking has been associated with
Yeah.
lung cancer. And that atrazine is being used on our property here on a regular basis. And I would like to have some input from the community about the use of that and some updates about the process involved too, please.
Absolutely. Like I said, I am deferring to Darwin and our landscaping. That is not my expertise, but we'll get some answers and see what we can do. But you and I did discuss that, so it has not been forgotten. We'll make sure to get a resolution. Might not be a favorable one, but we'll get you an answer.
I kind of have to agree with what Dean's saying. So many of the times when these pesticides or herbicides are put down, they say stay off the grass, but everybody has dogs who have to go potty in the grass and do their thing. And the other thing is that it's airborne, and I don't know how long it's airborne. I suppose it depends on the wind. The other aspect of this that I would like to see us look at, and maybe corporate has already done it, is review all of our MSDS sheets to see what kinds of chemicals we're using and what kind of perfume type things we're using for those people with allergies. And I'd love to hear if there's something like that. I'd rather see corporate do it and spread it all the way down, and then we can deal with it.
Well, as we discussed last week, Amy is actually looking into various options for actual chemicals, but in regards to treating weeds, that's a different topic. So we are, again, working with the experts on that. We're trying to see if we can get them to come out and maybe do an educational seminar or what options they might have. So more to come on that, but I'm not the expert, so I can't speak a lot to that. Any other questions? Yes, Ms. Rosa.
When CDS renovates apartments, they make an awful lot of dust. Is there any way they could use some machines to suck that in before
They're
it gets
supposed to.
out the door?
Yeah, they have machines that they use, and they cover the smoke detectors, and there's various machines that they do use.
Well, it does get very dusty in the lobby, the elevator lobby, so I don't know if those things are working.
All right, I'll remind them. Thanks, Ms. Rosa. Any other questions? All right, well, like I said, Darwin will be here usually right after Tuesday Talk for maintenance. Chris is here now if you have any other questions. regarding plant operations. Thank you all for coming. Stay warm. Have a great day.